Hey, how's it going? My name is Dan. I used to work at the biggest dealership in the country, and now I teach fine folks like you how not to get fucked when buying a car. And in this video, I want to talk to you about the Jeep Undertaker, formerly known as Jeep Wrangler. But in 2018 and up, it's getting a new name. It's called the Jeep Undertaker because it's gonna be getting you delivered to the other side of the fucking universe or wherever you go after you die. This vehicle right here got 1-star safety rating. Check out this video right here. This video is from the facility that tests vehicles. Just let's take a look at it. See if you would want to be in a crash like that. Now keep in mind that front accidents are at 35 miles an hour and side impact is at 30 miles an hour. Did you see that crash? Would you want to be in there? Look how far the front wheel has gone in. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. This thing gets squashed like a fucking beer can. What is this thing made out of? Dude, this is insane. I mean, this thing is coming up at the seams. Look at the hood. Do you see how far the hood has separated, especially on the left side? Look at that. The hood just, that shit just disconnected. I mean, the hood is out of there. It is leaving. Look what's going on. Just look at the seams all over the car. Because this car doesn't have a good unibody like other cars, it has this fancy ass fucking panels that you put on. The quality of the actual car is less than a regular car. I mean, literally, you're safer in a Honda Civic than this thing right here. Look at the gap over here between the roof and the door. Typically that gap would not be there because of unibody construction, because the whole car is as one big part. Here everything is made out of little parts. I'll tell you, you'll see I have a solution for this. This is the side impact right here. Look at this here. That's going 50 kilometers an hour, so that's about 30 miles an hour. This is absolutely insane. I mean, 50 kilometers, that's 30 miles an hour. Here's person's head, here's the car door. 30 miles an hour, what's gonna happen to his head? If he survives, what's gonna be the impact for the rest of the fucking life? Anybody wanna be sitting in a wheelchair for the rest of their life because they got fucking hit in the head in a car accident? Because Jeep deliberately did not put side airbags in the car. How come I can think of it? You know about side airbags, but Jeep decided not to put them in. This is absolutely insane. It blows my mind that Jeep would do this. Actually, I'm exaggerating. It doesn't really blow my mind. It really doesn't. Because Jeep is owned by Chrysler and Fiat. And Fiat makes the worst cars there is on the planet Earth. I mean, the worst. You cannot get any worse in a global car manufacturer. The only cars that are worse are just in-country cars, like Indian cars or Chinese cars or Korean cars or Russian cars. The cars that nobody else outside of the country buys. Typically, they're made for communist countries or very poor people. That's it. I mean, here's what I really want to talk to you about. You know what the solution for this situation is? The solution is replace those $100,000 dummies and put those designers in the car. After they're done jerking each other off, they might be considering putting some extra side airbags in the car. Do you think they would do that if they knew that the car was getting tested with them? Oh, I guarantee you the stars would shoot up from 1 to 5 stars. Just like that. And you know what the response was from Jeep? Here, I'll read it to you. I'll read it to you. The new Jeep Wrangler, an award-winning vehicle with unmatched capability and worldwide appeal, meets or exceeds federal safety requirements in every market in which it's sold. This is load of bullshit. Let's go over it. Let's go over it one part at a time and try to decipher this piece of shit that came out of this representative's mouth. It is absolutely retarded. How can you even say this? The new Jeep Wrangler is an award-winning vehicle. Oh, it won awards. Congratulations. Well, good thing you paid for them. I guarantee you, you would have 0 awards if you didn't pay for them. 0. All the awards that these car manufacturers get are paid for. I made a video, which I'll put a description below, or you know what, at the end of the video, I'll have a video right here, which is going to be about how manufacturers buy awards. They're winning awards. Oh my God, it's such a fucking lie. I can't even stand this. With unmatched capability and worldwide appeal. What can Jeep Wrangler do that Nissan can't, that Toyota can't, that Mazda can't, that Honda can't do? What can it do? It says unmatched capability. What is it capable of doing that nobody else can't do? Here's a better question. What can it do that, for example, I don't know, maybe Toyota Land Cruiser can't do? What can it do? Kill you in an accident? I mean, it can't do that. Toyota, at least Land Cruiser would protect your life. And worldwide appeal. I cannot believe this guy said this. He's actually bragging that they have a worldwide appeal. Let's get real. Nobody is buying Jeeps outside of Americans that live 50 miles away from a dealership where they have fucking warranties and shit. Nobody's doing that. Have you, I mean, I hate to use this example, I really do, but let's get real. Have you ever seen fucking African terrorists or some fucking Al-Qaeda guys on a Jeep? Never. Do you know why? Because they don't like to get stuck in the middle of the fucking desert and be blown apart by fucking Abrams or Apache. It's simple as that. Because they know they can rely on Nissan, Honda, Toyota, Mazda. That's it. They can't rely on this shit. Nobody's buying Jeeps besides Americans. And the only places that Jeeps go is to the supermarket. Less than 1% of Jeeps sold ever go off-roading. And no, dirt road is not off-roading. Here's more. This is the most important thing. It meets or exceeds federal safety requirements in every market which it's sold. If you saw that and it has 1-star safety, this piece of shit has 1-star safety, how low are the federal requirements? I mean, are they Korea low? China low? Russia low? I mean, how low are they? Which country, where in the world is 1-star acceptable? We're not done just, there is more. There is more. These people get paid millions of dollars to spew this bullshit out. Further, the Jeep Wrangler is engineered to deliver superior performance and unique driving experience under the most demanding conditions. It was ranked 28% chance of a rollover. 28% chance, that is the highest in all SUVs. 28% chance, that is insane. And to think that this SUV is supposed to be taken off-road, I mean, God, I have some exclusive footage for you guys. This is what Jeep looks like in Sahara. That's it. That's it. You want to see a Jeep in snow? Yeah. That's what Jeep in snow looks like with 28% chance rollover. This is, I mean, I am like so fucking angry right now. A company that's supposed to be representing off-road vehicles is this shit right here. 28% chance rollover. This is insane. We're not done just yet. Check this out. Testing protocols that apply exclusively to urban scenarios may not align with such vehicles. This is not a fucking tank. 99% of these cars will go to schools, supermarkets, and jobs. 99% of these vehicles will never see a dirt road. 99% of these vehicles will be driving from school to work to supermarket to back home. That's it. This is not a true off-road vehicle with 28% chance rollover rate. This is absolutely insane. And then I figured it out. I did some research and I finally understood why this piece of shit exists. Here's the video from their product development team. Only a 3-year-old can make this. I don't see any self-respectable engineer doing this right here. I don't see anybody that's gonna be like, you know what? I know this is a piece of shit, but we're gonna approve it and we're gonna put it into production. Who does this? As an engineer, you're responsible for human lives. Whether you're building a car, a bridge, a fucking airplane, a boat, a phone. It doesn't matter what you're building. You are responsible for human lives because even a fucking phone can be set on fire, as we saw a couple of years ago. These are people that don't give a fuck at all because they're owned by fiat that's only chasing money. They don't give a fuck about their reputation or anything else for that matter. I know some of you may be thinking, Dan, you're just over-exaggerating this situation. The only reason they got such low scores is because they didn't have passive and active safety features like autonomous braking, and all that, just bunch of shit that nobody needs. Nobody needs it, nobody needs it. Okay, look at the actual scores that this thing got. This is the actual scores. Adult occupant, 50%. If you get 50% anywhere, I mean, that's a fail. Next one, child occupancy, 69%. What kind of bullshit is that? Next one, vulnerable road users. So that's hitting pedestrians, 49%, that is absolutely horrific. And now finally we get to the safety assists, okay? This is what some of you may be thinking. That's 32%. Even if we take out this 32%, the other scores are still horrific. I mean, I don't even know how to say it. Horrific, cancerous, the absolutely fucking worst. I'm just gonna read you a quote, okay? It wasn't able to score more than 50% in any of its test categories. And the most concerning of all, managed 16% when it came to child occupancy protection. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That is absolutely insane. Come on. Do you think if people were making these cars for themselves, this car would be like that? Do you think if the engineers and the CEO and CFOs and the president of the company were actually driving these cars every day, everywhere, the cars would be ending up like that? No, they get paid millions of dollars and they're driving perfectly safe cars. Perfectly safe cars. They're flying in private jets. They don't need to worry about anything. It's us. Well, not me. Oh, hell no. I ain't never buying this piece of shit. That's for goddamn sure. It's going to be uneducated, uninformed customers that will be stuck in this undertaker. Oh, and here's something else. If you watch my videos, I always tell you guys the truth. Remember how I told you that all these car reviewers and car websites are paid by big car manufacturers or dealership? Check this out. Look at this Jeep right here. There's pros, there's cons. And the first con, it is worded so eloquently. I cannot think of biggest fucking bullshit statement. Crash tests scored don't match of those conventional vehicles. Is this an unconventional vehicle? Is this thing supposed to fly into outer space? Is this an underwater James Bond car? What is this? Is this an unconventional vehicle? Is that what you're saying? This is an unconventional vehicle. When 99% of the cars on the road are conventional, the Jeep here is unconventional. It doesn't abide by rules of safety. It's a special vehicle. It's an unconventional vehicle. That's not it. Look at this here. Look at this here. This is National Highway and Safety Ratings for America. Look at that. Overall rating, not rated. Kind of interesting. Why would it not be rated? Front crash, 3 stars. That is horrific. Side crash, not rated because it doesn't have side airbags, so they didn't even do the test. They knew that the side airbags were not there, so they decided not to do the test at all. This thing wasn't tested in Europe for poles or trees. So when a car in snow or a slick road is sliding out of control and there is a pole or a tree that it might hit, right? You want to make sure that you're safe, that the car doesn't get wrapped around it like a fucking donut, right? It wasn't tested for that because the car doesn't have airbags. So if you ever hit a tree or a pole with Jeep, I mean, you're fucked. If your kids are in the back seat, I mean, take out life insurance and start making babies, because God forbid you ever get into a fucking car accident with them. Rollover, 3 out of 4 stars. This is off-road vehicle. Let's get real. This thing is advertised as fucking off-road, durable, go climb rocks and do crazy shit with a 3 out of 5 stars in the rollover. This is insane. I mean, Honda Civic is less likely to roll over than this Jeep. This is absolutely horrific. And here's an article from 1984 just to prove my point that Chrysler doesn't give a shit about anything or anybody. They're just taking government's money. That's it. Look at this here. In 1984, consumer groups and insurance industry have been the most vocal advocates of mandatory passive restraints. So that's seatbelts and airbags. They were asking for airbags. Airbags were available in 1984. Here's more. And airbag proponents include some influential members of Congress and Ford Motor Company. Surprisingly, Ford wanted to install airbags. I'm not sure who was in charge, but once in a decade they were doing the right thing. The consumer groups, they argue that airbags will save thousands of lives and billions of dollars every year. You know what the opponents of this law wanted to do? Foes, that's what they actually called them in 1980s. Foes. Whoever wrote this got a fucking pair of balls. I like that. Foes include other influential members of Congress, General Motors Corporation and Chrysler Corporation, and members of Reagan administration. I mean, do I need to say more? Chrysler and GM did not want to put airbags in the cars. The only reasons that we have mandatory airbags in cars and mandatory safety features and mandatory seat belts and good bumpers, do you know why? Because it was forcefully put onto the car manufacturers. I don't know a single car manufacturer that stepped forward and said, we will make our cars the safest that they can possibly be. We will make the best possible car that it could possibly be. I don't know one. And I know 90% of car manufacturers in the world. I don't know one that stepped out in 2018 and says, we're going to have the best safety features on all of our cars, and it doesn't matter if it's going to be a $20,000 car or it's going to be a $50,000 or $70,000 or $100,000 car. Yes, you can get excellent safety features on expensive cars, so that's like $45,000, $55,000, $65,000. Most people don't buy those cars. Most people buy $35,000 cars. An average car is $35,000. So an average car will not have all those features. Chrysler, Chevy, Ford, they're American car manufacturers in America, and they're getting beat by Asian car manufacturers in their own country. I mean, this is embarrassing. When Ford, Chevy, and Chrysler go out of business, I will have this video. I told you so. I fucking told you so. You were lazy. You were greedy. You got fucked. I told you so. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up below and click the subscribe button over my head, or watch one of those 2 videos if you want to see more money saving tips about cars. This is Dan with 60 Minute Car. I'm signing out, and I'll see you on the internet.